in the course of interviewing, because as you know, I have a publication too, Black Star News, you get to meet many individuals. So I got to know this very wealthy European American. And the interesting thing with him is he was very close friends with Melvin Van Peebles, the late Melvin Van Peebles. So we used to have conversations together, the three of us. And then one day, this very wealthy European American, who's a billionaire, this is what he said, without any solicitation from me. He said, Milton, I think we may have a revolution in this country. So I said, why do you say that? He said, because when I started making my money in the 1980s, you had a middle class in this country. You could get a decent job, you could pay off your home, you could send your kids to school, you could go on vacation, and you could retire and have money saved. But nowadays, just to survive, you need 3 jobs. Nowadays, there's no middle class in this country. There's only me, talking about himself, of course, and everybody else, which includes me, of course. He said, you cannot sustain any society on that model. It's not going to work. What they think in the back of their mind is that they can use the armed forces and the police to suppress it. But it's not going to work because it's going to start with one city and then a couple of cities together and then the entire country. And he said, why am I saying this? Because he was already like 80 at that time. He's almost 90 now when he's telling me this. He said, I can say it because I think it won't happen in my lifetime. But it's quite possible it will happen in your lifetime, Milton. So that is my answer to your question. This is coming not from a leftist, a Marxist, or what have you. This is coming from somebody who made his billion on Wall Street. So if a very wealthy person, a European American, is thinking like that, the answer is yes, it will happen in this country.
And I would say quickly that the elites here are preparing. Look up luxury bunkers.
Yes.
Look up all of the real estate offerings, the gated communities with high security. They are preparing. They are.
Yes. And brother, let me interrupt you just for a second. In his case, he actually has his own private island. Yes, it's very close to the Virgin Islands. He has his own private island. He has private planes. He has private pilots, and he has land in his private island. So go ahead, continue.
I just want to, again, just reiterate, because I don't want us to have this conversation and people feel helpless. You know, it starts with just going to the farmer's market, building a relationship with a farmer.
Yes.
Reconnecting with your community, because we've gotten so much into the matrix. It's collective security that's going to be your survival during these trying times that coming. Building real relations with real people. During COVID, I was back and forth to the continent, and I can tell you that when I was in rural Africa, you would never know that there was a global pandemic. I was among farmers, everything I've moved same way. And where you are when these calamities happen is going to make a huge difference. So particularly with the people who have families, young children, make sure that you have those connections with the rural areas where you are, because the violence is going to be concentrated in the city centers, where you have this large concentration of people that are dependent on the trucks coming into the city, bringing goods and services every morning. When the global supply chains break down, which is going to happen, then this is where the rubber meets the road. So I really want my family, again, yes, we have to leverage the internet. I'm a content creator. I have the YouTube channel, Lion Voice. All of that is beautiful. But we're going to talk about the next topic, how fragile this matrix really is. And at the end of the day, if you do not have the real world connections and you do not have a plan for yourself and your family, then you're going to, you're setting yourself up for a terrible situation. And I can't underscore this enough. We give time.